Now, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend the 60th Independence Day celebrations of the Maldives today as guest of honor. He is currently on a two-day state visit to the country in a bid to reset relations, which were briefly strained following President Muizu's India Out campaign during the 2023 elections. India was among the first nations to recognize the Maldives' independence from British colonial rule in 1965. Prime Minister Modi's visit is being seen as a significant diplomatic gesture, aiming to build on their long-standing cooperation in areas including maritime security, regional stability, infrastructure development, and cultural exchange. Addressing a formal banquet held in Malé, Maldivian President Mohammad Muizu congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his achievement as India's longest-serving Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi is the first foreign leader to be hosted by President Mohammad Muizu.
To reciprocate that friendship and goodwill in the spirit of the close ties between our two nations. Excellency, first of all, let me convey my heartiest congratulations to Your Excellency on becoming the second longest-serving Prime Minister of India today. This remarkable milestone, 4,078 consecutive days in office, is a testament to your unwavering commitment to public service and dedication to the progress and prosperity of the Indian people.
Before the state dinner, the two leaders held bilateral talks discussing key areas of cooperation. Prime Minister Modi announced a $565 million credit line for the Maldives, aimed at supporting the country's economic development. He said the two nations are working towards finalizing a bilateral investment treaty and a free trade agreement to boost economic ties, while emphasizing their shared commitment to maintaining peace and security in the Indian Ocean region. Prime Minister Modi underscored the importance of stability and cooperation in the area.
आपसी निवेश को गति देने के लिए हम शीघ्र ही बायलैटरल इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रीटी फाइनलाइज करने की दिशा में काम करेंगे। फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट पर भी बातचीत शुरू हो गई है।
Now, for more on this, our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibil, is joining us live from Malé. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we are going to talk about all the things that are scheduled for the day. Of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend the 60th Independence Day celebrations of Maldives today as the guest of honor. But before that, I want to first touch upon the developments of day one, talking about the credit line as well as free trade talks which have been launched. What can you tell us, Siddhant?
Well, day one saw a number of outcomes, whether it is the announcement of the credit line, whether it is reduction in the debt repayment by 40%, the free trade agreement commencement, the terms of references have been agreed on, the Indian Prime Minister inaugurating a lot of infrastructure projects in Maldives, projects that will help the Maldivians. And also the big message as to how India is a trusted partner, something that the Maldivian president pointed out, and how the Indian Prime Minister pointed that Maldives is a priority under India's neighborhood first and Mahasagar vision. Now, we know that this is the visit coming after a gap of several years. The last time Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was here in Maldives was in 2019. And this time around, he has been invited to be the guest of honor. There is the larger message as well, the turnaround in relationship. Remember last year, especially in January of last year, we saw the relationship plummeting between the two countries, and thereafter we saw concerted diplomacy by two sides leading to a positive trajectory, something that we are seeing right now. The Indian Prime Minister is here in Maldives. And last year, the Maldivian President Muiz was in India not once but twice First, of course, for the oath-taking ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his third term, and then for a bilateral visit. In fact, yesterday, the Maldivian president lauded the Indian Prime Minister for being the second longest-serving Prime Minister of India. But there is a focus on the connect as well between the two sides. Many Maldivians come to India for health, for education, and many Indians come to Maldives for tourism. In fact, currently Indians form the sixth largest number of tourists, foreign tourists coming to Maldives. And the focus, of course, has been as to how there can be increase in number of the Indian tourists in this country. We saw a major fall last year.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Of course, that is something that needs to be discussed as well. There was a fracture in the ties between India and the Maldives. We are seeing that the relationship is on the mend. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a rousing welcome in the Maldives as well. We are seeing him being part of the festivities and the celebrations there. How do you think the shift in stance came about, Siddhant?
Well, it's through quiet and concerted diplomacy, I would say. When it comes to relationship between any two countries, it might fall, but it is also incumbent on the leadership and, of course, the diplomats to make sure that the relationship can come on track. And as the Indian Prime Minister pointed out, the weathers might change, but the connect remains. And something the Indian Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri, also reiterated that while there have been instances, but the relationship is strong enough to withstand that. And this visit is being talked about both in India and Maldives for that similar reason.
Absolutely. Of course, Siddhant, here's hoping that concerted efforts, diplomatic efforts, continue to yield fruitful results for both the nations. Thank you so much for bringing us all the developments on this front as of now. We'll, of course, continue to talk to you through the course of the day as and when more developments come in. Thank you so much, Siddhant. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.